In this second part, I will describe the assessment you can use to evaluate reading, spelling and writing abilities in English. We selected this test, the dyslexia screening test, that includes many tasks, but for a brief screening, you can use only 3 tasks that are 1 minute reading, 2 minutes spelling and 1 minute writing. Moreover, there are 2 versions of dyslexia screening tests. The first is for children in the primary school between 6 years and 6 months and 11 years and 5 months. And the second version is for the scholars in the secondary school between 11 years and 6 months and 16 years and 5 months. So the first task is the 1 minute reading, and it could be used to evaluate reading abilities. So the child has to read aloud a list of words, and before the main task, you can use the practice form in order to better explain the task. There are 2 forms, Form A and Form B, and they are quite similar, so you can select A or B as you wish. For this task, you need a stopwatch because you have to stop the child after 1 minute. And during the task, during the reading, you have to mark all the errors and also the word passed. For the scoring of this test, 1 minute reading, you have to give 1 point for each word correctly read, and you have to remember that if the child reads all the word, so the complete sheet, in less than 1 minute, you have to add 1 point for each second less than 60 if you are using the junior version, or you have to give 2 more points for each second less than 60 if you are using the secondary version. The second test is the 2 minute spelling, and it is used to evaluate spelling abilities. The test lasts 2 minutes, and you have to dictate a list on words and stop the child after 2 minutes. In the test, you find the 2 parts, the practice form and the main test. Remember to say the words one at a time and to start to dictate the next word when the child finishes writing the previous word. These are 2 important rules you have to remember. After the main test, you have to give 1 point for each word correctly wrote, and remember that you have to discontinue, to stop the test before 2 minutes if the child has made 5 consecutive errors. The last test is the 1 minute writing task, and it is used to evaluate writing abilities. The child is asked to copy a brief passage. In the manual you find different texts and you have to choose the correct passage according to the age. You can start with the practice form and then move to the main test. Remember to give a simple but clear instruction. For example, you can say, copy it down as fast as you can, trying to copy it correctly and making sure I will be able to read it. The score for the 1 minute writing test is calculated counting the words completed in 1 minute. You have also to note the time if the child finishes the test in less than a minute. Moreover, there is a bonus score, and if the time taken to complete the passage is less than 1 minute, you have to add 1 point for each 2 seconds. There is also a penalty score, and you have to count the errors and deduct 1 point for each error. You have to evaluate the handwriting and subtract up to 3 points for poor quality. For example, if the handwriting is complete illegible, you have to subtract 3 points. Finally, you have to evaluate the punctuation and deduct 1 point for each item of punctuation omitted. At the end of the reading, spelling and writing test, you have to use the Appendix A. In this appendix, you find the normative data and you have to compare the score obtained by the child with the normative data. The simpler table is the risk level table, and you can use this table to describe and to evaluate the reading, spelling and writing abilities achieved by the child. Remember to use the correct table, and the normative data are divided according to the age and the school level. So thank you for your attention, and if you have any doubt, question or for more information, you can write an email to me, Michela Camia, or to my colleague Maristella Scorza.